All right, breaking news. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that the framework for a deal has been reached to keep TikTok in the United States. Now, you might remember a bipartisan majority of Congress voted to effectively ban TikTok here because of Chinese ownership. But despite the law, the administration has kept pushing back that deadline.
We have a framework for a TikTok deal. The two leaders, President Trump and Party Chair Xi, will speak on Friday to complete the deal, but we do have a framework for a deal with TikTok.
All right, CNN's Elena Trine is at the White House. Any idea what this framework for the deal is?
Well, we're still waiting for it, and we definitely heard Scott Bessent try to play it off and say he can't share any of the details, but that the commercial aspects of the deal have been agreed to. Of course, we have to see what the president and Chinese President Xi Jinping say on Friday, because really what we heard from both Bessent and the United States Trade Representative Jamieson Greer is that it will be finalized after getting sign-off from leadership. And of course, that call between Trump and Xi is going to take place on Friday to do just that. But we also heard more, John, from Jamieson Greer, like I said, the United States Trade Representative. He was also in Madrid for these talks with their Chinese counterparts on this. And he said that the President Donald Trump, called both him and Bessent last night to share kind of what he wanted out of a potential deal. Listen to how he put it.
President Trump played a role in this. We had a call with him last night. We had specific guidance from him. We shared it with our Chinese counterparts. And without his leadership and the leverage he provides, we would not have been able to conclude the deal today.
Now, John, if this deal is actually struck, it would be the culmination of a really years-long process now of trying to figure out what to do about TikTok. You mentioned it, but the president has now pushed back a self-imposed deadline multiple times on trying to reach a deal with China on TikTok to either, sell part of it, divest part of it to the United States so that it can continue operating within the U.S. And this has definitely been a big goal of President Donald Trump's. He often talks about TikTok as helping deliver him young voters in his election in 2024. But it was also something that, as you mentioned, a majority of people in Congress had voted to ban. It was signed off by former President Joe Biden if a deal with the United States on divesting most of TikTok did not come through. All to say, this has been a long time coming. We have to see what the details actually look like, but the president is very optimistic about this.
Yeah, we need to know who's going to own it, right? We need to know who in the United States here is going to own it, which seems like the big part of the deal. Elena Trine at the White House covering all these developments. Thank you very much.
Good morning. This is Morning Sky. I am your host, Sky. And we got another one. I'm flabbergasted. I'm baffled. I don't understand it. I need somebody to sit me down like I'm a 5-year-old child and explain these things to me, because it doesn't make any sense to me. And nobody's really addressing the main thing. No news organizations, a few journalists, maybe a few vloggers. But I just don't understand how the government has anything to do with the stupid. It's an app. It's a silly app. It's for fun. It's for making silly videos and cutting up segments and stuff like that. It's all for fun. How's it a national security risk? TikTok, I'm talking about. How is TikTok in any way a risk to the United States and its allies in any part? In any way? I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why is there a deal on TikTok? Why are they divesting from TikTok or in the process, or we're in the process of doing that? What are these deals? What is this? ByteDance is its own private corporation. I understand. I think, and maybe controlled by different government means as well. But I just don't understand it. It makes zero sense to me. It makes zero sense. It makes absolutely no sense for our government for any politicians to be involved in any kind of dealings, because it's not even TikTok. It's the people behind TikTok. It's the individuals in TikTok that comprise that company. That's the thing that gets me. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. And to keep going on, with it and saying that the tariffs and the different blockades and different things of that nature. I mean, why are you even considering the Chinese tariffs? Why are they even a part of the issue? It's just an app for making funny videos and goofy dog and cat videos and tutorials and ASMR videos and anything you can think of. Pretty much, TikTok is got it. I mean, that's within the bounds of decency and the law. I just don't understand it. It really just irks me. It really kind of just pisses me off, because the government should be focused on actual threats to the United States of America, not goddamn TikTok. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. All this money spent on, Treasury, the United States Treasury Secretary Bessent, having these deals and everything. It's disturbing. It's disgusting. It's awful. It shouldn't happen. Many people are, anxious and ready to see what the deal is. President Trump is saying that young people will be very happy at the outcome. That could mean so many things. Who knows what the hell he's talking about? Does he even know what he's talking about? So it's a very, very touchy subject for me, because it just, I'm on TikTok, but I'm not heavy on it. I was heavy on it for a little while, and then I kind of slacked off. I might start doing it again, especially with the outcome of what happens with this deal, which is insanity. This is just insanity. And irony, let's go after TikTok, an app. Rewind 24 years earlier, jetliners were flying into office buildings. Were we worried about that? No, there was a message across then President George W. Bush's desk saying there was a threat that was imminent in the United States of America of a terrorist attack. That was in August. Now, it's difficult to decipher that, because it's not specific and it doesn't show any kind of detailed plans. But it was still like something that should have been on the radar, and something that should be regarded as something that's pretty serious and pretty eventful. TikTok is not eventful. TikTok is not about, destroying wealth or destroying lives or corrupting the government system. It's just an app. It's just a goofy app. It's a silly, goofy app. That's all it is. And we treat it like it's some kind of national security threat. For what reason? I know not. They would argue, oh, well, it's from China, and China has many various violations of human rights. And okay, that could be true, but ByteDance is not one of those threats. It's not one of those different factions that would cause such mayhem in the streets with people running around with their hair on fire just because TikTok, another cat video popped up. I just don't. Whew. It is an egregious, and I mean that in the negative way, because egregious can be positive too. If you graduate egregious cum laude, that's with most highest honors, the highest of honors. Hold on, let me see who's in my comments. It ruined my life. Turned my ex to a dancing whore. Salute to you, Death Row. Salute to you, sir. Oh man, like I said, they think TikTok is like a digital drug. You know, they think it's like a digital drug in a sense, the way they handle it and like they look at it and consider it. They think it's something that they feel it's something that is a imminent horror, you know, an imminent terroristic you know, kind of training ground or something. What the hell does government have to do with private industry other than to protect private property rights and individual rights? This isn't that, and that ain't this. This is government overreach. This is government meddling things that need not do. This is the government turning on its own citizens and treating them like children. Well, some TikTokers are children. Depends, I guess, if you're 13 years old, you're technically a child. I think it's 13 and up. I think you have to be 13 years old at least. But you know what I mean. They're treated like they're coddled. Like, oh no, we can't trust you with your own ideas and your own thoughts and how you govern your life or your children's lives. We have to step in because we have nothing better to do. We could be really guarding the country because there are terrorists plotting right now. They're like, oh, they're thinking about TikTok. Okay, great. Just like in September 11, 2001, you know, we had Y2K. We had the whole well before that we had the Bill Clinton scandal. They're like, ooh, okay, they're worried about that. They're concerned with that. They're feeling that. All right, cool. And then you know Y2K came. Oh, great. Whoa, yeah, they're worried about something that's not even anything. They're stacking up, you know, money and putting in different you know, emergency places in their home and you know building up shelters. Oh, great. This is great. It's wonderful. It was just falling right into our plan. Then we had the election that was a complete travesty. The hanging chads in Florida and the recount. I mean, it just was a perfect storm for Osama bin Laden and co. And they say, hey, they don't know what the hell's coming at them. They're too concerned with everything else. And that's a weird thing too. We were pretty divided in Florida with the election. We were pretty divided with that. And yeah, in a superficial way, we came together on September 11th and we were united. We had the flags waving and cars and people were saying God bless America and all that, honking the horn. Woo! You know, that was cute, but didn't last long. We were divided again over the invasion of Iraq. That divided us. So I mean, people say, "Oh, we're so divided now." We've been divided. But anyway, TikTok is just a silly app. Has nothing to do with any kind of horrific idealism. Has nothing to do with any kind of destroying the economy and just disrupting the overall scheme of America. Death Row says it's misinformation to the youth. Well, that's why you have to be critical. You have to use critical thinking. I mean, you have to. It's very scary. It's really scary now. AI is creepy. It's great, but it's creepy because it's like, man, I'm looking at these pictures, and if I didn't know any better, I'd be like, "Oh, that's real." But I know it's not real. But I'm like, that looks really good. Like that's, if I did not know any better. Like there's one picture of Suge Knight's his face was on Donald Trump's face was on Suge Knight's face, and Charlie Kirk's face was on Tupac's face, and they were sitting in a car, and I'm like, that looks really believable. If I didn't know any better, I might have said, you know what, that's real. I mean, you have to know better. You know, study. You know, look for context clues. Look for different things like that. But I wouldn't say it's misinformation to the youth, sir. You just have to use critical thinking. Weed out the toxic parts. bat down all the fallacies, and you should be all right. Okay, Rick James says, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking division and not the math kind. Skylar Sounder sees is diving right in, pause, to the issues regarding a TikTok that kicked the bucket. He was a white man in America. A fact. That's unbelievable. Well, I think it is believable. I disagree with you. I think it's very believable that TikTok is such a just a horrific, terrible national security risk. It must be either shut down in America or handed over to American hands. Handed over to hands. I said, given over to American hands, because we know what we're doing with apps and stuff like that. We do know what we're doing. We have an idea of YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and X, whatever the case may be. TikTok is a dangerous. Why Rick James? Why is TikTok a dangerous platform? You said a blanket statement. You didn't back it up. You don't have any stats and facts. You don't have any links to say why you just said a blanket statement. TikTok is a dangerous platform. Why? I always want to know why. I have to know why. Why is it a dangerous platform? Let me know. I would love to know. I don't think they have. I don't think they have any. I don't think they have anything other than that. TikTok, it spreads false information. Okay, so that's why you have to be on guard. Critical thinking, always on guard. Does more harm than good. You mean not? I think. You have to use your mind. You have to think. You have to understand that some things are just completely wrong and false, and it's sometimes it's difficult. I will admit it is difficult to understand what is real and what is developed by artificial. I hate to say intelligence because really the only intelligence is human, but artificial means, I guess. Kids that use TikTok don't have critical thinking, sir. I would disagree with you on that, sir. What age are you talking about? If you're above the age of 7, you should have the age of reason. That's 7 or older. They don't know any better. Okay, I disagree with you on that. We just have to disagree with each other. I think they do. And plus, if their parents, it all comes down to the parents. If the parents monitor them and are able to assess what they view with their scrolling, all the various what are they, channels? What I don't know. Pages, I guess you can say. All the different pages that come up with TikTok. I mean, that just comes down to the parents. They have to do better. If the child doesn't know any better, the parent has to do better. No question about that. I love how you said N-O instead of K-N-O-W. I'm messing with you, Rick James. Son of Sun 90, back in the building. You back talking to the chat? Yes, I am. I am back talking to the chat, sir. I am back talking to the chat. I was experimenting. I just wanted to go a day without talking to the chat. But it's good synergy. It's good synergy. But TikTok, it's just a goddamn app. It's just a good. It's an application. It's not even like it's like I could almost see if this was some like military, concession, confessional board or something like that on the internet, and they were like, oh yeah, we got to shut this down, or we can't. People love to have farming videos and hairstyling videos and truckers and anything you can think of is on TikTok. Almost as important as the Scholar Saunders sees Halloween special. I don't even remember my own Halloween special. I don't know what I did. What did I do? It's the new 4chan. Okay, I disagree with you on that. 4chan seems a little bit more under the table. And another thing is like, what was the deal? What deal, Son of Sun 90? I smashed a girl from TikTok. Okay. Honey. It didn't end well. Uh-oh. That can't be good. But yeah, so it was the Killers Espinosa that featured your scary, slow, and okay. Yeah. That I still have that. I think I downloaded it. It's in my private videos. That sounded dirty, but she has a Willy Bobo. Wait a minute. But anyway, it was the Killers Espinosa. What? Your scary, slow, and low voice. Killers Espinosa. I don't remember the killer man Espinosa, but it was really Samuel Little. Samuel Little was the murderer that I covered. And just wait till the second half of the show, y'all. Y'all gonna be in for a treat. I'm just teasing it. Hey! Hi, baby. I like it like that. Don't believe me when I tell ya. Definitely, I don't play those. Oh. Okay, they're talking to each other in the chat. Yeah. So I need somebody to explain that to me, please. I mean, I heard Mr. Choice Terrain. I think he might have mentioned it. Dr. Jerome Brook has talked about. He's probably the leading voice that says the same thing that I'm saying. God damn it. It's just an app. It's not anything close to threatening national security in any way. They only want to score political points. Trump and his ilk. Son of Sun 90 said we didn't have much in common, but we had a fun night out bowling and drinking. Well, that's cool. And how did it turn left? How did it go sour? Son of Sun 90. What happened? But just taking that into account, just realizing that, TikTok, it's just an app. What else can I say? I'm reading the news. I'm reading Reuters. I'm reading CNN. They had the CNN thing. Nobody's just saying like, hey, this is an app, right? For people that want to show off their firehouse or show off their convertible Chevrolet Corvette collection. People that want to just show mathematics in school, doing calculus. People that want to show how to properly braid hair. It's all how to take different supplements. And that's the thing too. You have to be careful. There may not be any, you have to be careful what you see and hear. And I think there are disclaimers on a lot of the different videos that say, I'm not a professional, I'm not a medical, I'm not a physician or anything like that. Everything that you see is just basically my assessment. If you take alligator eggs, I don't know, I was, and have them for breakfast in the morning, you'll get better protein than eggs from are there alligator eggs? I could be wrong. Are there alligator eggs? Let me make sure. Make sure. Yeah, there are alligator eggs. So alligator eggs are Let me see. Oh yeah, yeah. Alligator eggs will be more, proficient and more efficient to your dietary needs if you take them instead of chicken eggs. Like, you just have to look into stuff like that. You just have to say, is that true? Is that reality? Should I continue on with my life because of that? I don't know. We love our alligator eggs. In fact, crack that whip. Yeah, so I don't know. Just be careful online. Just basically everything you look at, everything you engage in, just be careful of what it really shows. It may show something totally different than what you expect. That's all I can say. I can really reflect on that. I mean, TikTok is itself. It's just TikTok. It's a great way of conveying information, being a purveyor of knowledge, just fun, just dancing around, having a good time, listening to music, people picking up their careers based on TikTok, getting thousands and millions of followers? I think it's followers on TikTok, showing their videos. You can actually engage with people with videos and have chat. So that was really cool for me. That's like YouTube and Facebook mixed together. Like, I thought that was really cool. You can do video. I mean, I don't know if you can. I'm pretty sure you can do live, but I've never tried live. But you can talk to people via the app. So I think that's pretty cool. Sun 90 says you can see people loose they sold on Facebook. That needs to go. Well, I disagree with you, sir. I don't think it should go. Facebook should stand. Facebook is a great value to me. It was always great. I love the story. The story is amazing. It's a great American tale. You watch The Social Network, how he came up with it, and read the book, Accident on Billionaires. I never read the book, but I'm planning on reading it one day. But Facebook has always been a great place for me to voice my ideas, exchange my videos and my writings with that particular platform. I thought that was really cool. I think that was a really cool thing. I've been with it. Oh my God, since 2008, I think I started when it was 2008. What was that? 27 years ago. And I started YouTube in 2006. That was like a year after it was first implemented. And that was an interesting time. That was the time where, and this is another thing too. Instead of going after crooks and fraudsters, the government chooses to go after a silly app. My mind is like blown. I'm pissed off, but I'm trying to be cool about it. Sun 90 says Facebook very informative, but kids should stay off it. You shouldn't be able to see those types of videos. What types of videos? What types of videos do you mean specifically? And what kids? What level kids? What age? Because I think you have to be 13 across. I think that's across the board on most websites. 13 years old. You just need a parent's permission. By the time you're 18, you don't really need permission. You're an adult. So Facebook, TikTok, X, all these different platforms. I mean, they're just amazing. I mean, how everything converged. It was Web 2.0. I think we might be in Web 3 now, or at the beginnings of Web 3. I could be wrong though. I've seen a woman on the train and got eliminated by a black guy video. Okay, wow, that's not good. The woman in the train video. Okay. Yeah, what I think that it's very difficult even for YouTube. I remember there's some YouTube videos that were at least up until like 2015 where they had nudity in them. So it's a lot of videos to process. I don't remember the exact count, but it's something like 15,000, I think, every second or something like that. I can't remember the exact count. I could be, that was just from the seat of my pants. But it's similar like that. It's like there's millions of videos every hour. Every hour there are millions of videos to comb through, and they don't always catch them with the censors. They have artificial means. I'm just going to say artificial means to try to block those different ideas. Sunset 90 says YouTube changed for the worse. They really destroyed the music algorithm on YouTube. How you say that? Explain yourself a little bit more, sir, please. And this will be I'm gonna wrap up after this. What do you mean it destroyed the music algorithm on YouTube? How did it destroy it? And in what way? I used to learn about a lot of music from YouTube. When you listen to one song, they show you similar songs. Okay. I think they still do that. Okay. I got you. I'm rolling with you. Yeah. And then what? Then what happened? What did YouTube do? I can't think of his name. It's something Chad something. And I can't remember the other guy's name. There are two guys, I think, that started YouTube, sold it to Google. Google then, absorbed it under Alphabet. So, but back to TikTok. TikTok is just a means for serious expression, funny expression, thoughtful, engaging. It's freedom of speech. I mean, and the government's worried about it. Not worried about terrorists. Not worried about anybody. They're worried more about sending people over, through ICE back to their homelands than they are about protecting the rights of individual Americans. And that leads me to my next point. I'm just going to get off of TikTok. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. I want to start out with saying, all the spics, it's your day, it's your month, it's your time. Everybody that, counted them out said, they were all right, they were cool. Not ICE. ICE said, you know what? We're cleaning house. I was just in a Mexican restaurant yesterday. Okay, Sun 90's replying. Are they talking about getting rid of TikTok again? I'm sorry, I didn't really stick to the topic. Yes, they are. They said they just reached a deal. And that young people will be happy. They speak Spanish. Yeah, exactly. They speak English. Yeah, the Spics should be celebrating. And I love it too because it's like they have so many flags to wave. There's all the South American, Central American, Mexican flags, and anything but Spanish flags. And are Portuguese and Brazilians, are they Hispanic? They're not Hispanic because they don't speak They don't speak Spanish. So you can't really call Brazil or Portugal really ideas. I disagree with that, Son of the Sun 90. Don't deport them all. Don't deport all. Deport the criminals, the terrorists, and the ones that are are criminally inclined or have an infectious disease. That should be the only ones that should be taken in. And I also want, I'm just going to do, off the top of the dome, from my memory and from my understanding of her, I'm going to just give, every day until the October 15th, I'm going to try to give a notable Hispanic person or a spic their just due. And today I'm going to talk about Griselda Blanco. Griselda Blanco was the madrina, the godmother. She was one of the heads of her own crime syndicate with cocaine coming from Colombia. Sofia Vergara played her in a movie. She was in a documentary, Cocaine Cowboys 2. She had originally instituted a hit on Then when he was alive, of course, John F. K. Jr. She was a bad bitch, if I could say that. She was a bad bitch. She trafficked tons of cocaine into the United States, and again, like, why the government is even trying to get that, I don't know. They knocked Blanco right off the board as soon as she got home. That's a fact. That's a whole fact, sir. I was just about to get to that. Si gustamos el cocaína, sí, señor. Okay. You like the cocaine, yes, sir. He said, "Oh yes, I like the cocaine. The cocaine, yes, sir." Okay, that's Rick James. That's his life thing. But yeah, I was gonna say she had a tumultuous life. She had many times spent in prison. She was released from prison, and then she was gunned down in the streets like a dog, and that was the end of her. But salute to another Hispanic or SPIC female for the Heritage Month, because they don't care. The one thing is that they hate on each other. They don't just hate, the white man or black man or anything like that. They hate, like I'll give you an example. Jennifer Lopez, she played Selena. I can't remember her last name, but she played Selena, and Selena was Mexican. And Jennifer Lopez did an excellent job in the movie. She did a great job acting. But there was a backlash between Mexicans and Puerto Ricans because Jennifer Lopez is Puerto Rican. And they're like, "Oh no, they should have made a Mexican play Selena." So I mean, this is hate amongst them because they wave flags. There's the Puerto Rican flag, there's the Venezuelan flag, there's the Mexican flag, there's so many other flags, Chilean, all under the idea of Hispanic or SPIC. It's all in the SPIC. Selena Gomez Jr. No, not Selena Gomez, sir. Not Selena Gomez. I really seen a poll that said get rid of one artist. It was J-Lo, Rihanna, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift. I picked Taylor Swift to go. I will get rid of J-Lo during SPIC Awareness Month. That's what I'm gonna call it. SPIC Awareness Month. Hate. Yes, I am hating. I'm hating. They're getting their comeuppance for being hateful to the black man, for riding the black man's tails for over, 90 or 100 years, riding his tails while he was gearing up for a movement. Everybody else just fell in line. Anybody else notice that? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Okay, J-Lo had hits. Rihanna, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift don't have hits? So do you like the Mexican song Me Gustan Los Menores? I never heard it, I don't think. Facts, they love our culture. Yeah. They just went on to the FBA, and everybody else was like, oh, hey. Because they had the same issues. When they went to the South and they had to go use a water fountain or use the restroom, it says white and colored. It didn't say Negro. It said colored. So you had to make a choice. Desi Arnaz, I always talk about him. Desi Arnaz, where did he go? Where do you think if he was in the South with Lucille Ball? Which stall did he go into? The colored stall or the white stall? He had the straight hair. His complexion was pretty light. It was kind of brownish, but it wasn't that brown. It wasn't that dark. It was like he's not white, but he's got the hair. And then like the late great Paul Mooney said about him playing the drums, the conga, which are African drums. And he said Babalu, Babalu. He was saying that about the African one of the African gods, Babalu. Taylor doesn't have any vocal range with soul. I disagree with that. And she's a great writer, by the way. They will never fight to take a country back from cartels. Well, that's the thing. There should be no more cartels. Defund the cartels. Defund all cartels that are that currently exist. Defund them all. Take them out. Take every cartel out. Understand that, you know, it's a price to pay. It's a price that a lot of people aren't with. Okay, I'm not going to repeat what Rick James said. America needs the cartels for their coffee, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I know what you mean, but cartels don't need to exist. They're literally chopping off people's heads and, shooting up, homes of people. Griselda Blanco, she ordered hits on people. She ordered hits on multiple different warring gangs. I think she murdered people herself. Salute King Hazy. I see you, sir. King Hazy Only Hayes YouTube channel. Salute to you. Peace up. I see you. Peace up, sir. So, for this Spic Awareness Month, let's see. Griselda was well calculated if you watch her TV show on Netflix. I think she hired some refugees as soon as they touched down in Miami to do her dirty work. Yeah, that's why they called her the Madrina. That's why Griselda is part of a hip hop collection. What is it? Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, and West Side Gun. That's what it's all about. That's my favorite kind of rap, by the way. And they have their own kind of way too. It's called Narcos. They have narco novellas. They have narco musicales. It's all originated around their narcotics trade. They have it in their art because it's so part of their lives. And I think, one of the best things that has ever come out from the Hispanic Hispanic idea is the drugs. The drugs is the greatest thing to ever do it. Let some white people do that. Oh yeah. We're doing cocaine. It doesn't matter. We're selling cocaine. We're making trillions of dollars. Let's see. The Buffalo Boys saw if they talk that gangster-ish. They tried to squash the beef for Freddie Gibbs, and he said he wasn't having it. Yeah, Freddie Gibbs is on the term. He's a very wise and humorous guy. He's a good guy. I like Freddie Gibbs and the Buffalo Boys. I meant to say that Buffalo is soft. Oh, I disagree with you there. They're not soft. They're pretty strong. They hold up. They hold up. They're not looking funny in the light. The Buffalo Boys are pretty strong. Why do you say did you watch the fight? I did not. We're not going to talk about the fight. I don't want to talk about fights unless it's Mike Tyson versus Mayweather. That's the only exhibition fight I want to see. I'll pay for that too. I'll definitely pay for that. Yeah, I watched the fight. No, I did not watch the fight. I don't care about Crawford. I don't care who else. Was it Canelo? I don't even know if it was Canelo or not. Sir, do you prefer wetbacks or big backs? Wetbacks, definitely wetbacks. I've dated one Hispanic woman. She was Hispanic and white, but she took on the last name that was very Hispanic. No, I think they should bring Mayweather back and offer him $1 billion for 5 fights. That sounds good to me. I'll watch it. We're talking about something else, but we'll go back to the Heritage Fund. But Mayweather was the greatest idea of a boxer. He's not the great. Ali is going to be the greatest boxer, but he was the greatest idea of a boxer because he went perfect 50. And what you wanted to do was see in all those matches, in every boxing match, everybody was putting money against Mayweather. So I think he pissed off most people because they're like, oh, this is going to be the night. This is going to be the night. He's going to get knocked out. I don't care. He's going to get knocked out this time. This night, he's not that tall. Acquaint. I don't know what acquaint means. Mayweather has the greatest IQ when it comes to boxing. He was made for it. Salute to Son 90. He's telling the truth. I was just about to say he's one of the smartest boxers. He knew when to get his punches in, when to step back. The only time I don't think he's ever even his knee ever hit the mat. I don't think so. I could be wrong. There were 50 fights, and I know it's 50 fights. I don't know how many times he's never been knocked down. He's never been on the mat. And one time, I don't remember who it was against, but he had a bloody nose. And it wasn't like it was gushing. It was just like a slight little bit of blood right here. So Mayweather is only good at playing hide and seek. He doesn't fight, he hides. True. That's true. He does a little bit like a rope-a-dope in a sense, in his own type of rope-a-dope. Mayweather bought out all the heavy hitters in Hollywood to see his fight. Was it Madonna? I can't spell his name. They got it. He thought. Are you saying the guy he fought? Is that what you meant to say? I think you're using autocorrect. I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying I think you're using autocorrect. But Griselda Blanco, she was a bad bitch. Bad bitch. Bad spick bitch. She was something to be to definitely. No. I don't think it was Madonna. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name either. Like I said, I draw a blank, but I just remember they did a close up and his face. He was like, he had the blood trickling. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't like it was gushing. It was just a little bit of blood. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget. I can't remember who it was he was fighting against, but I'll never forget him with a bloody nose. But back to Griselda Blanco. Griselda Blanco. I mean, you have to give credit where credit is due. Like I said, I don't have a mind doing anybody. I do FBA, I do black people and serial killers, all that. You can't have one without the other. You can't have the yin without the yang. Mayweather says the way he heals from a fight is by plugging. Okay. Did the government get rid of Griselda or was it a cartel? I think it was it could have. Hey, this is conspiratorial. I don't know. It could have been the government, sending in, but I think she was extradited back to Colombia and she was gunned down in the street. I won't cry over Griselda, but you can do a loud pack on Griselda since I'm talking to her right now. You do hurricanes too, sir. Yes. What does that have to do with anything? I don't understand. But yeah, so she is an icon or iconoclast. Let's say she's iconoclast. It's not like she's a positive figure. I'm not trying to paint her as a positive figure. I'm just saying she's part of the Hispanic history, the Hispanic heritage. That's going to be stretched out for the rest of this month into October. Richard, they're talking to each other. Yeah, she just popped up on my radar screen in my mind, and I said, "Why don't I do a little something about Griselda Blanco?" She had the game on lock. She had a guy named Charles Cosby, I think his name was. He was a drug runner, or I don't know if he was a drug lord. I don't know necessarily say that. He was within the drug game, and he had private visits with her. He had it wasn't even an official like what are they called? Conjugal visits. They were conjugal visits, but they weren't official. They had to pay off the guards so they can sneak away and go to a different part of the prison and have sex. It's a fact. Look it up. It's a fact. And I mean, it's on Vlad. Vlad, they had Charles Cosby on Vlad before. He was talking about Griselda Blanco. He was like, Vlad asked him, don't you think, she was a little bit older for you and, she was kind of heavy set and everything? He was like, PSP, PUSSY, is itself. He didn't have any cares. He was hitting it. Conjuring visits, of course you are. Charles Cosby was a rat. I think he was. I think that's the reason why he's still walking around today. He lost all his money. He had a Corvette. He had a lot. But yeah. So this is the weird thing about information. National Enquirer was, I think, one of the only news outlets that took seriously Griselda Blanco's her exploits in trying to kidnap JFK Jr. This is all facts. National Enquirer. I would say National Geographic. National Enquirer. They had a whole story on her. Intimating on kidnapping the slain president's son. This is all facts. I spit facts anyway, but I'm just saying just to back it up even more. But she lived a hell of a life. She had sons. One of her sons, I think, died, or both of them died. I don't remember, but one of them was called Michael Corleone after the Godfather character. I mean, that's how insane I think a lot of this whole thing was. Just name him after a gangster. But let some brown people get in. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for not for another black president. I'm waiting for a brown president. See what they do. There's gonna be a brown Trump, and he's gonna enforce Spanish speaking in all schools across the country. God, I hope that doesn't happen. There is no God, but I just hope that we're able to do that. One of them is still alive. Okay. I leave the business and keep pulling back. Yeah, I leave the business and they keep pulling me back in. Can we talk about Pablo Escobar and how he was the first terrorist of the narcos? We're going to get to Pablo. He's going to be tomorrow. I want to start with ladies first. Griselda Blanco. We're going to talk about Willie Falcone. We're going to talk about El Chapo. We're going to chop it up. You see in the next few days. Last half hour and last segments of the show is all going to be about these spics and their drug running. So. Salute my cousin. I'm not your cousin. I'm not Tigger. I'm not Big Tigger. Everybody's your cousin. Salute to you, though. We'll be getting the new. We're going to stay on topic, but I'm about to answer that real quick. I will be getting the new iPhone and Apple Watch in probably October or November. Did they even unveil it yet? I'm stupid. I don't even know if they unveiled it already. Okay, here it is. iPhone 17 Pro. All Out Pro. Available starting $9.19. I might have to pre-order it. I haven't gone to a video in a long time. Anybody want to see a video? Class, do you want to see a video? Oh, this is hard. Hold on. This is going to be hard for me. Everything's copyrighted. I can't do this. This sucks. I knew this was going to happen. Let's see. All right, this is good.
Of cocaine. She is Griselda Blanco, was a 69-year-old mother of four, seen here in one of her many, many mugshots. As of yesterday, she is dead, gunned down by a motorcycle-riding assassin as she stepped out of a butcher shop in Medellin, Colombia. But this cocaine godmother made her name as drug kingpin right here in this country. In Miami in the 70s and the 80s, she is so notorious, in fact, a documentary chronicled her exploits. Here is just a piece of that. Be warned, the language is rough.
Godmother told me I'm the baddest to ever take a breath of life.
So here's the thing, you know, this isn't exactly your friendly neighborhood godmother. Obviously, the stories of her viciousness made headlines for years and years. We just had to bring in Rafael Romo to bring in some of these. I mean, we've been talking this should be an actual film, just the twists and turns of her life. So she was killed by a motorcycle assassin going into a butcher shop. There's so much irony in there.
Exactly. Well, so much irony because she basically invented that kind of execution in the 70s and 80s when she was powerful in California, then in New York, and then in Miami, bringing 3,500 pounds of cocaine every year. At one point in time, her fortune was estimated at $1.5 billion.
At one point in time, she plotted to kidnap JFK Jr.
That's one of the allegations of one of her associates that appeared in the documentary that you just showed people. But apparently it was just talk. It never actually materialized to go to the planning stage.
Tell me more about her. She avoided the death penalty, right?
That's right. She was originally prosecuted for drug trafficking, but then she was tied to 3 murders. And authorities in Florida and in New York said that at least they could have documented 40 murders. And that's still conservative because she might have been behind as many as 200 executions in Miami, in New York, and in Irvine, California.
Including a 2-year-old girl. Just 30 seconds. Why the godmother of cocaine? Why that moniker?
She basically invented bringing cocaine from South America and into the United States.
It was this woman.
Exactly. Most
Wow.
Americans know of Pablo Escobar.
Right.
Well, she was there before Pablo Escobar on a much larger scale. Pablo Escobar was stealing cars when she was already trafficking 3,400 pounds of cocaine in the 70s and 80s.
She had so many enemies. It's amazing she lasted as long as she did.
69 years old, and she actually became a grandmother. So it's just amazing that at this point she dies, but she dies in the same way that she attacked many of her enemies.
No, she did not invent cocaine. Chill with that. And find something else. That's A&E. I can't do A&E. God damn it. Connect. What is this? What is this? Only CNN had something? Are you serious? Here we go. Oh, that's somebody else. I'll get back to that. Hold on, let me write that down. Ugh. Sandra Albia Beltran. That's another one we're going to look at. So that's you telling me CNN is the only one? What about Fox? Let's look for Fox. Okay, here we go.
Before they could arrest her, as she would do over and over again, Griselda disappeared.
She had a variety of passports. She was extremely skilled at this, and she was a very unprepossessing person. I mean, she looked like everybody's aunt.
Without being detected, she slipped back into Colombia to avoid prosecution. Back in her home country, the cocaine godmother's reputation was growing as a remorseless killer who would order the murder of anyone at the drop of a hat. She became known for developing a new and effective method of assassination.
The assassin on the backseat of this motorcycle is trademark Colombian drug hit.
The driver would be up front, the assassin would be in back with a machine gun. The problem became so severe with hundreds of these assassinations, the local authorities made it a crime to ride double on a motorcycle and to even wear a helmet which hides the face.
In Medellin, she is suspected of up to 15 murders and now is in hiding.
Do you see the irony in that? You see how ironic that is? She crafted the whole idea of the drive-by shooting on a motorcycle The driver went with one in the front, and the guy, somebody in the back with a machine gun, shooting at the person. And then she gets shot down in the same style that she started. I think that's ironic. I could be wrong, but I don't think that. I think that is ironic. It's a little bit of irony. So this spick she was a bad bitch. I think you meant, did she get high off her own supply? I don't know. I don't think she did, though. She was more diplomatic and business-wise than that. I don't know what that means, Rick James. I don't know what you're talking about. But Griselda had her own place in it. She was a smart businesswoman. Well, that's the sad part. A lot of these people could have been executives, CEOs of multi-billion-dollar corporations. They still could be. If we legalize all drugs, legalize every single drug. That's what Hispanic people should be pushing for right now. That's what the SPIC should be pushing for, is to legalizing all of the drugs. Because that's the thing that's, really robs people. Like, oh, well, they're selling that fentanyl and they're getting across the border, and that's what's killing the people in America. That's getting them addicted and hooked on drugs. Legalize it. See what happens. And have some self-constraint and some self-control. Especially, she was probably worth billions by the end of her day. Yeah, that's what they said. They said $1.5 billion at least. Especially PCP, sir. Yes. Because of you, I understand why they have restrictions on PCP. No, I'm kidding. But you should, take PCP, LSD, THC, anything, any letters, any acronyms, or that's what you should be taking now. Okay, I don't even. I should have remembered. Is that the Whippets? Is that part of the show that you sent me or something like that? I can't remember. He's gonna say it's an objectivist show. It's an objectivist show. I'm telling you right now, it is. No, it's a drug. Oh, it's a drug. I never used any narcotics or anything like that. Don't plan to until I'm at least 99, 100 years old. And then I'm just going for it. I mean, at that, you'd be dead soon. Why not? It's helium. Oh. People getting high off of helium now. Gotcha. All right, so I'm not gonna stretch this one out. I'm just keep going with it. Make sure you tell other people to subscribe to my channel, and let people know that I am serious about mine, but I have fun at the same time. And I will see you sometime tomorrow morning. Thank you very much. Take care.